Welcome to Keiser Voices, the story of success, brought to you by Keiser University Graduate School, here where the academic world meets personal triumph. Join us today as we dive into the captivating tales of success.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Keiser Voices. And this month, we are continuing our conversation on online education. Last month, we had the opportunity to talk a little bit about international education. And this specific episode, we are going to bridge the gap and bring it both together as we talk about empowering Latin students through online education. And joining us today are three members of Keiser University's Latin Division from the eCampus. So with us, we have Dean Lina Rodas, back to join us again, Dean of Academic Affairs for the Latin Division. We have Dr. Dennis Calderon, who is the program chair for our Doctorate of Business Administration, our Master's of Business Administration, and our Master's in Science in Management. And last but certainly not least, Professor Rosa Gonzalez, who is our Psychology Program Director for our undergraduate Latin Division programs. Thank you guys for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you, Heather. Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
I want to ask you guys right away, can you tell us first, I think it's very important to have a starting point. Can we start by explaining who and what the Latin Division is here at Keiser University, and tying into that, its mission to serve Hispanic students through online education?
Yeah, well, I can start right off the bat answering that question. And thank you, first of all, for the invitation, Heather. It's a pleasure to be here with you today. I know from Dr. Dennis and Professor Rosa, the sentiment is the same. Very happy to be representing our dear Latin division. And you can see we're very proud of it. This division was established back in 2005, so almost 20 years ago. We have nearly 2 decades of dedication supporting our Hispanic students in achieving both their academic and professional goals. Usually, most of our students, they're first and second generation of immigrants here, and they want to give back to their communities. They want to grow as professionals. They want to continue learning English while they're doing their programs. So most of them are adult learners with families, with job responsibilities that they need to complete the program so that they can have that flexibility of working and studying at the same time, so that they can do that online with us in the Latin Division. The mission since the very beginning was precisely to address those unique needs of that growing population that desired to earn an academic degree here in the U.S. in their native language. And it was born, I guess this division was formed from recognizing that we have different barriers that our students face, such as a language barrier, the cultural barriers, the need for flexibility, but also the need for growth and improvement. So today, the Hispanic population, it continues to grow. You know that it's one of the fastest growing demographic groups here in the U.S. And the growth is reflected in our student body. Many of our students come from different countries, not only Puerto Rico, but also Colombia, Latin America, Spain, and many other countries in Europe. We have students here in the U.S. from almost all the states. And so these programs and the division has been designed uniquely to address those students' needs.
And I think that's a fabulous point. We had the opportunity in a previous episode to talk with the Vice Chancellor of the online division, Dr. Olson. And one of the most important things that we find with adult learners and with this Hispanic population is they need that opportunity for flexibility. Can you guys tell us more about that flexibility and the access that is being provided to the Latin Division?
Yeah, online classes allow the students to access material at any time. That's flexibility right there. This makes it easier for the students that have work or families to complete education. The flexibility of online classes is fundamental for those with irregular work hours and family responsibilities. Besides, online learning allows students to learn at their own speed. This is especially beneficial for the students that do not grasp information very easily. At Keiser University, the students take one class at a time, and this makes it easier to concentrate in one subject. And this is fundamental for education, with technology and like virtual classes and mobile learning. It's easy for students to take the classes anywhere. You can go to Colombia, you can go to anywhere on the planet, and you can take the classes, live classes. You can send in material, whatever you need for the class. And online education allows professionals to continue working and go to school at the same time. And this helps them advance in their career without taking any break.
Mm-hmm.
Correct. Just one more thing regarding that point. We serve a specific amount of population, and this population is probably immigrants or people who work in Latin America, and they have a life, they have a job, they have family, and also we try to focus in maintain these individual needs. They have a job, they have family, they have a responsibility, and we try to ensure that the education integrates in their life, not that their lives integrate into education. So I think that's
Mm-hmm.
something very important for our division.
Yeah. And if I want to add something else too, that is very important for the Latin division, and something that we're very proud of, is that the Latin division is a very proud community. So most of our professors, I can say all of them, when they join the Latin division, they don't see only, okay, I'm just going to work in a university, I'm just going to teach courses. They know that it's special because not all the universities offer Spanish programs. So when they're joining, they're like, okay, there is a Latin division that offers programs for the Latin community. Once they start teaching the classes, they see the students and like, okay, we got to make sure that you just finish the program, do something with your life, finish, and you can actually work with something, and then we can contribute back, because there is a proud and something else. There is something that we have as a Latin community here in the US, that we have that desire to prove something, to prove that we are worthy of big conversations, of big professional spaces, of making sure that we have a place within the community as well. So that's very important, because that shapes the relationship that professors have with the students. Professors are more invested. Our Latin students, they yearn that connection with the professor. So the professor is always calling, so we're following up with the student. What's going on with you? Let's make sure that everything is right. So that's unique to our division as well.
And I think something that you guys all undersold that I really want to point out, because we talked about it a little bit during Hispanic Heritage Month. But one of the things that we talk about when it comes to the flexibility being provided to the Latin division students is they're working. Like Dean Lina said at the beginning, they're new to the country. So they're learning English, they're going to school, they're holding down jobs, and they're taking the flexibility to get that education, and they're starting over. I want to emphasize that. I know this isn't Hispanic Heritage Month again, but I want to emphasize that as we keep talking about like the opportunities that are there, is they're starting over. There's a lot of them who might have been CPAs or doctors in the countries that they're coming from, and then here in the US, they're starting over. So when we look at the Latin division, what type of opportunities are being presented to help these students both grow professionally and personally, and keeping in mind that this is an online environment?
No, the Latin division at Keiser University offers many opportunities designed to support both professional and personal growth for the students. For example, Latin division offers programs at the associate, bachelorette, master's, and doctoral levels, all completely delivered in Spanish. And this allows the student to access higher education in their own language, making learning more accessible and effective for the student. Students can choose from fully online, hybrid, or face-to-face classes, providing an opportunity to balance education with work, with family. That's important. Keiser University provides career services, including job placement assistance, resume building, interview preparation, and these services are designed to help the students in the transition from education to their professional life. Keiser University puts the students first, you know that. And this gives them individual attention. The faculty and the staffs are instructed to devote their time and effort to the student success. This includes academic advising and regular check-ins to make sure that the student is on track, and activities are designed to help the students develop their skills they need to develop for professional life, and also to expand their professional networks.
I have a different perspective, actually, if I may. The perspective that I do have is like the opportunities are always there. But if you are not equipped to take advantage of those opportunities, you won't be able to succeed. So basically what we do as Latin Division is try to equip the students with the knowledge and skills and tools that they need in order to succeed in their professional fields, or managing their own companies, or managing their own businesses. And that's basically what we do.
Good.
So can you guys, if you don't mind, I'd really like to hear a little bit more about your own experiences working with the Latin Division and what you've seen in these last 20 years. I mean, I know not all of you have been here for 20 plus years. I know some of you have been here for over 5 years, but can you share some of your experiences with us?
Sure, I can tell several. I think I'm the one that have the most experience here in Keiser, right? I think I started in Keiser in 2007, so I have been long time here, and I've seen students achieve very remarkable milestones and stories while balancing demanding careers, personal responsibilities. I have students that they have been graduated, being entrepreneurs, managing their own business. I have been seeing students that belong to the military area, and basically they are trying to pursue a degree while they are serving their own country. And also we even have circus artists. That was one of the most interesting students that we have, who was able to graduate balancing travel schedules with academic commitments. So that's one of my favorite student success stories.
Well, I've been with the school for 5 years, and to be honest, it's been one of the most amazing time of my life. I've been, working with the students from day one to now, and I feel like this is a family. I feel like my students are amazing, and I've seen how they grow every single day, how they develop skills that they didn't even think they had. So I'm really, happy with the school. It's amazing. This is the best school ever. I'm telling you.
Yeah. No, and I also want to add to that it has been amazing for me as well. I have been here for more than 9 years, and ever since the beginning, the thing that I have enjoyed the most is to see the genuine care where everybody in each department for the Latin division, the way that they do their job. From admissions to financial aid to the person in registers, the person in bursars, everybody, the faculty members, the deans, everybody just has that care for the student, making sure that they are well taken care of. I was talking the other day with a representative for registrars, and he came to my office and he's like, Dean, can we just make sure, I've been looking at the student schedule, and I see that the first class, usually they pass it with a C, they sometimes they fail it. I think that it's best that we accommodate the classes in this way, in this order, so that the students can do a smoother transition when they're in the first semester. It's the way of thinking. It's not only, okay, I'm gonna have to schedule the class because this is my job. It's making making sure that the student is not treated just like a number, but it's a person that is going through a whole journey. And from every department, I have the financial aid advisor, Marietta. She just called me today. She's like, I'm so worried about this student. We couldn't get her the financial aid that she needed. Can you call her back? Maybe we can work something out. Maybe we can graduate her first. We can double the courses it's that extra care. It's going the extra mile. And you see it with the faculty members as well. And with all the initiatives that we're trying to push through, that's the thing that carries on the most in the Latin division.
Yeah.
So yeah.
We're a family.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So-
There is a difference when you do a job and when you do it with the
Yeah,
heart. And
exactly.
I think in
Yes.
the Latin division, we
It's
do
because you
things
like it.
from the heart.
Mhm.
Exactly.
No, and that's amazing. So that leaves me wondering, what's next for the Latin division, and how are you evolving as a division, as individuals in different departments to meet future needs?
Yeah. Well, for the Latin division, first of all, and this is institutionalized, this is going through all Kaiser. We're going through a big transition to a new platform, which is Ultra in Blackboard. This is going to be great because it will enhance that online learning experience. The students, when they go in, they're going to have features that are a little bit more interactive. They're going to be able to see their courses in a different way. And as I was talking to my professors about a couple of days ago, when you go into the course, you want to make sure that everything has an easy access, that you look at the things that are important and they're right there in your fingertips. Professors, on the other hand, they're going to be able to include more things within their courses to make it more dynamic. So that's a training that we're going through right now with all faculty members, and it will start by next year. This new platform. The one that we have is amazing too, but this new change is just going to bump it up and it's going to make sure that we are keeping up with the technology changes. That's one. Another big accomplishment that we have is that we have been recently named one of the top 100 colleges and universities for Hispanics. And this is a huge recognition because we have around 5,000, 6,000 universities all around the US. So we're in the top, imagine, like top 10, top 5%, even less. The Latin division, we're offering now 23 fully online programs in Spanish, and we are in the works of opening more because of what we mentioned before, the growing population for Hispanics. So these programs are going to be specific for those trends that we see students are asking for. New programs in health and more concentrations in psychology as well. More and other ones we just opened last year, the one for Dr. Dennis, the Masters in Organizational Leadership as well. So that keeping up with the trend and making sure that we are fulfilling the students' needs and the demands of the market, that's important as well. And that's something that we try to make sure that we are on top of that for the Latin division. And then finally, I think to mention is that we got our designation for Hispanic Association of Colleges and Universities for HACU. And this is another significant milestone. I mean, this means that many of our students now have even more opportunities for scholarships, for internships, for experiences in other organizations where they can just add up to the resume. And then at the end of the programs, they have a degree. They have been working hopefully in their language, and now they also have that professional experience on the side as well. So many things that we have a lot of every week we're trying to we're trying to keep it up. We wish we had more time because there are a lot of initiatives that are great, but ultimately that's the Latin division's mission, is to empower those students, those Latin students, Hispanic students, celebrate that heritage, making sure that we understand those cultural differences and we approach them in a different way, because of those cultural differences that we understand, and making sure that we equip them with, like Dr. Dennis and Professor Rosa have mentioned, with those tools that they need so that they graduate and they can enter the workforce. Yeah.
That's amazing. And thank you guys for sharing more information to us on the Latin division and talk about the great work that you guys are doing. Dean Lina, Dr. Calderon, and Professor Rosa, thank you guys so much for taking time today to join us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you,
A pleasure.
Heather.
Thanks for having us.
And if you guys have enjoyed this conversation, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to Keiser Voices podcast.
Thank you for journeying with us today on Keiser Voices, the story of success. As we close this chapter, remember, every story has its next page.